Hello, my name is Carl and welcome to the Mountain Call channel. Today I want to motivate you to find some outdoor recreation opportunity, and by the end of this video I'm going to try to convince you that some landscape or geological feature near you is just as unique and interesting as those geological features found in some of the nation's greatest national parks like Yellowstone and Yosemite. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about my journeys across the US. So I grew up here in Virginia, and a couple years ago I moved to Colorado just for 2 years and then moved back to Virginia. And packing up and going out to Colorado and then moving back from Colorado, I drove with my then fiance, now wife, and you see some amazing things driving across the country, even when you're driving through the plains where things aren't as quote-unquote interesting as the mountains of the Appalachians or the Rocky Mountains, say. The most important thing to keep in mind is to recognize the beauty where you are, and to do this you have to come in with a certain mindset when looking at various landscapes. For me, that involves asking questions about how the land is shaped and how it became what it is today. For example, if I'm in a valley with two ridge lines on either side of me, I know that that valley must be carved out by a stream or river. That's kind of cool. You can know that anytime you are between two ridge lines, there's a river running through it. That's pretty unique, and it brings a new interest to those ridgelines to understand that they've been carved out. The reason why those ridgelines stand above the rest of the valley is because the valley has been carved out by this water system. That's really cool. And yes, the Colorado River and the Yellowstone River and the Snake River all carve out valleys on a much grander scale maybe than what you might have near your hometown. But it's still really neat to think about the formations that smaller streams and creeks make around you. And I'm not trying to convince you that streams are the coolest thing ever. I'm just trying to show you how a new perspective on a pretty, from some perspectives, simple formation of the land actually has a lot of background and history as to how it got to be the way it is. Let me give you a quick anecdote on a trip that my wife and I took to Nebraska. So we were living in Colorado at the time, and we were surrounded by beautiful mountains and beautiful scenery, and it was a really spectacular place to live. So we decided to take a trip to Nebraska for no reason other than just trying to see a new place, new part of the country that we hadn't seen before, and trying to get away from some of the crowds. And I wasn't expecting anything spectacular in terms of landscapes and scenery from a state like Nebraska, which is in the plains. But when we drove around Nebraska, this was western Nebraska, we found some really neat rolling hills and bluffs and landscapes that we weren't necessarily expecting, but also to many don't seem that grand. We couldn't have asked for a better trip, not because the scenery that we saw was the grandest, but because the scenery we saw was something that we found uniqueness in. And I think you can find that wherever you are. Now, I might have been a bit bold in saying that your home region is as unique as Yellowstone, because Yellowstone might just be the most unique geological region in the entire world. But there is something unique about your home region, and you just have to find it, whether that be the way that tides erode some of the marshes around you, or the way that wind sweeps through and erodes rock formations that carve out bluffs. Whatever it may be near you, you just have to come at it with a historical eye and trying to find a new perspective on the landscape and understanding how it got there. And if you do that, I really think you'll find something interesting and cool about where you live. The bottom line is that understanding the underlying geological processes that are going on where you live will give you a better appreciation for those landscapes where you live. So the next time that you go for a walk or a hike or go fishing or kayaking in the wilderness, take a moment to appreciate the uniqueness of where you are. Appreciate that the trail that you're hiking up goes to this mountain ridge that was carved out by certain water and wind erosions. Appreciate the fact that the river that you're kayaking on was formed by the many streams coming from these mountains that have all come together and formed this larger river. And I think that's really what we're looking for when we have this desire to go explore and travel. And when we go to national parks and things, we're looking for really unique and interesting geological features that maybe we didn't see elsewhere. But when you go to a park like Yosemite, for example, you might see some really amazing rock formations and rock walls and cliffs and things, but it's really just the grandness that is emphasized to you at these national parks. The same exact processes of wind and water erosion are happening wherever you are as well. I'm by no means a geologist or earth scientist, so anything that I've said in this video is really just me pondering about how things have gotten to be the way they are, how landscapes are formed. And I think I have a general understanding of how certain landscapes are formed, but there's a lot that I don't know. But the important thing here is not that you have a scientific understanding of landscapes. The important thing is to have a curiosity about understanding these landscapes. And it might not even be a curiosity that leads you to go Google how that landscape formed. It might just be a curiosity where you think through it, and even just that thought process of trying to figure out how the land got to be the way it is will give you a deeper sense of place and a deeper appreciation for the land. I hope this doesn't sound like some preachy be one with the land type of an environmental position here. I'm really just encouraging you to be more curious about the land and the waterways that are around you. With the right mindset and curiosity, I truly believe that the intrigue found in some of the world's most beautiful places can also be found in your backyard. So this is how you're going to find those hidden outdoor gems. It's by coming in with this mindset to wherever you go, wherever you travel, that there's something unique about this place and I just need to find it. Or there's something beautiful about this place and I just need to recognize it. And coming in with that mindset, you'll find beauty wherever you go. You'll find uniqueness wherever you go. So go to a local park, hike a trail near you, drive the scenic way home from work, explore the natural resources near you, and ask about the stories that they hold and how they got to where they are today.